I have been a mental performance coach for a little over 40 years, and I've made a bunch of mistakes over the years. And I thought, well, how about I make a video and I share them? We'll see if I actually publish this, how deep we go, because I didn't talk about little mistakes with an athlete. I should have said this and I said this. I'm talking about big picture life, tectonic plate level mistakes. And I've got them all on my cards. So I'm going to go through there's 5 of them. And then there's one thing that I've done well. I've done a lot of things well, but this one thing is the thing that I think helps the most. And so if you don't know me yet, I am Dr. Tom Hansen. I wrote Heads Up Baseball with Ken Revisa, also available in Japanese and Italian. And we wrote Heads Up Baseball 2. My personal fave, Play Big. And this is a great business fable book, Who Will Do What by When, about operating with integrity. And so let's dive in. Mistake number 1, out on my front foot, making a decision. This one has to do with this card, New York Yankees, Director, Performance Enhancement. That was back in 2001. Mistake was metaphorically, you know how hitters like get out in your front foot and then a breaking ball, you're kind of vulnerable. Well, that was the case here. I was out my front foot. I really wanted that gig, and it was a life goal, life dream of mine to be full-time. I had been with the Rangers the prior 2 years as a roving mental game coach in a uniform, threw BP, hit fungos. It was great. And then the Yankees offered a full-time spot. But just in the negotiation and in the arrangement of it, there were things that just should have been kind of at least yellow lights, if not red lights, for how things would actually go. And then once I was here, then, which I'm still in Tampa, things didn't go that well. It was very difficult. It was like a dream come true that was painful during it, much less than getting let go at the end of the year. You know, the guy that brought me in was great, supremely intended. He even said, I'm sorry, I misread my own culture. I thought we were ready for you, and we weren't. But from my end, there were some things I could have done that could have made the whole thing either go or not go much better. So, like, don't be over eager is how it applies to you. It's like, it was over eager to get some, oh sure, and not let the ball travel, let things travel. Like I talk to minor league players, you got to let the big leagues travel to you. Be who you want to be, let the big leagues travel to you, not going, I got to get there, like that. So being out on your front foot because you want something so bad is one mistake I made. The other side of this, almost the same coin, major decision in a slump. I was a tenured college professor in the 90s at Skidmore College. I was also the head baseball coach, and it was a great gig. And I had a job for life. I think I was about 31, maybe 32, and I had a job for life, but I wasn't happy. And so I quit. Well, then I realized I wasn't happy. I was in a major life slump. I was literally falling into a depression. And so here I had left my job. I left my support, a lot of it, my identity. I had left it. And right when I needed to be, and when I most needed that, I had just given it away. So it led to a couple of pretty dark times. And in the end, looking back, on my deathbed, which is a perspective I try and look from often, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't happy. And had I stayed, and it just becomes a golden handcuffs, and you just stay, not what I wanted. That said, it wasn't wasn't very wise to leave that spot when I myself wasn't in a good place. There was a lot smarter ways to do that, and I didn't do that. So the first 2 really are like, hey, watch your state. Be in a good place, just like a hitter. You want to be in a good balanced place in your life, and then make your choices and make your moves, take your swings at life from that place, not from out front or in a slump, just like that. All right. So, yes, need to learn more. I've had a lot. It's like any strength overextended is a weakness. So again, the main theme, if he's going to say for one, know yourself. And it's the same. That's what we want to help players do. Know yourself so you can be yourself. To me, it's like know yourself, know baseball or softball or whatever sport, understand the nature of both and how they interact before you run out of time. As for a player, and same for us, before we're out of time. I'm not quite out of time. I've learned some of these things. And yet one of the things about me is I've always wanted to learn more. So as I said, any strength overextended is a weakness. So wanting to learn, what's bad about that? Well, if you always feel like you need to learn something else, you don't quite go all in the present moment. And you don't quite go for things. Well, I'll write this book, or I'll do this. I'll go for this after I learn more. I'll write this email or something after I learn some more. It can be obstacle. And it's nice to, I look at some people that can stick with something, take one thing and just run it. Like I wrote Heads Up Baseball. I could just teach Heads Up Baseball. I still to this day, I could just teach that same thing. For me, it's like, well, I got to come up with something new. But that really ties into the next one. These are all related. Chronic creating is number 4. Chronic creating. I love to create things. Any strength overextended can be a weakness. So there's what's the matter with creating? I've got programs that you ought to have. You would love my course called Effortless Power Hitting. It's a great course on just that very thing. I've got a Winning the Mental Game of Youth Baseball for coaches. I've got a confidence training course. I'm working with a bunch of 12-year-olds that you probably have never seen because I don't put them out and market it. I create it and then, oh, great, put it off to the side. Now I got to go do something else and create something else. And then I feel like as soon as I finish something, it seems like it's old and I want to go create something new. So that's cool, but you have to be able to manage it. Even the signal light thing. I came up with that in a car ride with Ken Ravizza when we were writing the first Heads Up Baseball. I was like, hey, Ken. And so I still use it, but it can seem like, oh, it's so 1993 in a way for me. And I was talking with a D1 college team a year ago, and I said, hey, what do you want me to go over? Oh, pre-pitch routines. And I thought, wow, that pre-pitch routines, it's kind of disappointing because, again, I wrote about it in 1993, and I want to go on. But that is a problem. And it's really, I want to ties in with this one. Let's get this last one, playing small. Those last two things, creating and learning, have also been ways for me to hold myself back. And while, I've done very well, I'm certainly doing very well. Certainly very proud of what I've done. And what I realize more and more, especially the last couple of years, as I've started this course that I'll tell you about, I feel like, wow, I can help a lot of people. And if I would put myself out more, I would even help more people. I can even fall into, it's like, well, people know that. People know their signal light. People know pre-pitch routines. People know other people are talking about it. And yet I find that it shortchanges people if I don't play big. And what I find is that that's common for everyone. I watched this show the other night on Rory McIlroy, and he said even after he had won a couple or major tournaments, he felt like a bit of an imposter. Like, well, I don't know, do I deserve all this? Am I really that? And so it's just extremely normal for people to have those thoughts and feel those feelings. So what you want to be able to do is feel it and go on anyway. Don't jump out over your skis and do something, put yourself in some position you shouldn't be in. But I can almost guarantee you that the biggest limiter for you, as it has been for me, isn't something situational. It's internal with a belief system. So you always want to be challenging your own belief system. So those are the 5. And so it's like, well, ultimately it's know yourself and make good decisions from a really strong and good place. And so what what I have done well, one thing, I've done many things well. One is train with the best. If you've seen another video, I go into that more of what my actual background is in terms of who I've studied with. We just lost Jim Lair, a great mental performance coach, sports psychologist, and I learned a great deal from him. I worked with Bob Rotella, I worked with Dan Gould, I've worked with obviously Ken Ravizza, and several other people that because my quest was to work with the best. And that's how to fast track. You want to take, to me, you want to take the shortest path, the straightest line path that gets you to where you are, and that's not a shortcut. That is just the most efficient path. So if you are interested in upping your game as a mental performance coach, if you want to avoid some of these mistakes, get some coaching on it, there'll be something down below, a place to click to get ultimately a time with me where you can talk through where you're at as a mental performance coach and where you want to be. It's a goodness of fit conversation to see if you're a fit for the mental performance coach certification program that I have put together. For me, it's the best, like the best of 40 years. Okay, what have I learned? What's the best of? And can I put it together into a system? I have created a play big system that I'm really excited about now. It took me a little over a year of chronic creating. That's why it's like, okay, it's a great strength. And here I've really leveraged it. I really feel like I've been able to pull together what I have learned and put it into a very satisfying, to me, learnable package that can speed you on your way. It's about getting from the launch pad. It's like, oh, I want to be in mental performance coaching, to I'm in orbit. I'm being a more mental performance coach. Maybe you have clients. Maybe it's your team that you're working with. Whatever it is. Even so, even if you take this, you will make mistakes. And so that's the beauty of it. You want to be able to take those experiences. Like I took the one where I left my college job. It's really turned into a great source of strength for me, even though it was painful. And so we want to be able to do that. Doing that ourselves is the key to helping athletes do the same. So I don't know. I bet I'll post this. I mean, it's personal, and doesn't point me in the greatest light in some places, but I think it might be helpful. And know that, yes, you too will make mistakes, and it's how we respond to them that makes all the difference. Because overcoming adversity, using it as fuel to become who you really want to be and do what you really want to do, is playing big. So let me know if I can help you play big.